what I discovered.
Oh.
That's the Mayflower Steps, where the first ships left for America.
This is a memorial to the folks who headed off to war from Plymouth. And they're overlooking the sea. Now we're heading up to there to have a look where Sir Francis Walter Raleigh Drake stood. This is a picture of the Plymouth Dom. The job of reading what the plaque says. And that's what it says. And there we are looking up the top. The view the other way. Oh, this is probably roughly where Sir Walter Raleigh was standing when he looked out to sea and saw the Spanish Armada out there, and the others, his mates were saying, come on, let's get going, and he said, no, don't worry about it, the tide's out, they can't get in over the sandbars yet, and carried on with his bowl of games of bowls. Well, actually it might have been Francis Drake, not Sir Walter Raleigh, or whoever I said before, but now he's standing up on a pedestal to have a look out there. Oh, Francis Drake's not here today, but this is probably where he played on the very day.
There's a great thing over there.
So Francis Drake had to stay somewhere, and that must have been the place. Well, here we are in the village square. Down there is the Copthorne Hotel, just in that sort of grey, got a lot of buildings there. That's another bit of the street.
It's Thursday evening and we are now travelling across Dartmoor on the way to a pub in Princetown for our tea. I think it's Princetown we're going to. At the moment we're sort of in an area where we're looking for ponies, which are quite famous in Dartmoor, but at the moment we're passing some sheep. And Don just informs me that this used to be an airfield many years ago.
Have you got sheep? You've had sheep before.
Stay there. From Yarra Lane that we're going down in Dartmoor. It's rather misty up here tonight because it's been a rather damp day. Thick mist on the moor. It's quite appropriate as we're heading to a pub for tea tonight and we're about to hear some ghostly stories about what used to happen on the moors. The mist is getting thicker and thicker, quite ghostly.
There's plenty of cows down near the road tonight, big black Galloways. They're all straight across. If you look over to your right, you'll see the Plume of Feathers. And this was the first building erected in Princetown in 1785 by Sir Thomas, and that was to house all the... Sir Thomas had an idea to make some more money, and he spoke to the authority, tidied up, reopened it. Now we'll be going left here, and if you look down to your right you'll see the Two Bridges Hotel. It runs for, and if you look carefully, right into the middle of what's probably the largest tree, it's the only pine tree in there. And that was the last Christmas tree used in the school, and it was planted in what was then the kitchen garden by the headmaster and his son back in up. And up in front of us now you'll see the remains of Merivale Quarry, the last working quarry on Dartmoor that closed down 2 years ago. 1675.
What's today?
Friday the 15th.
And we're coming into Exeter. Just about the biggest road we've been on.
What actually occurred inside? Marriages? Sacrifices? Or was it a last resting place for bodies awaiting burial in the surrounding barrows? Wonder, will it ever?
In the words of the poet William Wordsworth, a pile of Stonehenge, so proud to hint, yet keep thy secrets, thou that loves to stand and hear the plain resounding to the whirlwind's sweep, innate of lonesome nature's endless year.
about it now so you can just concentrate to looking at it. And if anyone has any feelings or wants to pontificate on the henge, please come forward and do so. Approach at 11:50.
It's a quiet little spot.
You'll see me at the bottom.
Here we are, going into Stonehenge. This is the queue coming in, and Jenny's in the shop getting some postcards. Here we are. Nice part. There's lots of people. These mounds are called barrows. Well, here's Jenny at Stonehenge. These are big rocks.
Don was also found to be at Stonehenge today.
We're just taking shots from around the different positions. As we walk around, so the cars drive past on the motorway. And relative to its position is there. And I'm going to fall over something in a minute. And there's Jenny. That's where we've come from. All around the perimeter there's a bit of a ditch. And I'm sure there's some story with that ditch, I just can't remember what it is. It's extremely clever how those stones are just sitting on top like that. They're big rocks. I don't know what this rock's here for. It's just starting to rain. You can see the way the rock's sitting on top there. Just some idea of the size.
Have a good vacation, you guys too. Thanks.
And now we're heading back to the bus. One last view. Here you get to actually touch the rock if you want to. See? Touch the rock. Yeah.
Salisbury is the market town of, where are we? Wiltshire, sorry. It's the market town of Wiltshire. It has a population of approximately 40,000 people.
Here's the cathedral in the distance.
Edward Rutherford. He's recently written one called London. Now here's the spire. You're very lucky. For months, well for years, it's been ensconced in plastic, but now plastic's been removed and they're working on the south towers. Well, if he fell off or something, I don't wish him any harm, but he looks a bit wobbly, doesn't he? There we are. You've got a bit of blue sky too. That's
focusing on the window. And all these cars queuing at the service station saying, why is there a policeman standing on the road? The reason for this is that we've had fuel blockade here and all around the whole country, and they're finally starting to put petrol back into the service stations again. And all these people are queuing for petrol.
He felt he was unworthy to be buried in the cathedral, and in fact this happened, and he lay for 100 years in his tomb, and then miracles started to be performed in Swithin's name, and the monks decided that they would move him to a more opulent shrine inside the cathedral.
More queues. We're at the world famous Winchester Cathedral. It's a little bit overcast. Well, in fact, it's raining. You'll notice the spire is very low, and the reason for this was so that when the baddies came and invaded the country, they wouldn't be able to see the church and therefore sack it. We're just walking around to the front of it. So that's as high as it gets.
It's a low one.
This is just one of the entrances. You can see the size of this cathedral. It's long. I think it's the largest one in Great Britain. There's somebody lying there, not quite sure who that is. And of course this is the altar. Just tell us who that was in the room.
Bishop Whiting's chapel.
When did he get buried? Here's the pulpit. So it's been here for a few years. What is that? This is a mirror reflecting what's on the roof. And that's the real roof. That's the fellow on the other side. You can't just film it all, it's just too bad. And that's where you get your sermon given to you. This guy doesn't look too well. Who? Oh, we don't know who this guy is. And these are the chests that those bodies are in. A memorial to Samuel Wilberforce. I bet that's old. That looks old too. There's Jenny waiting for me. But look at the window above. And then there's this big window here. Which is where we sort of came on. Jenny reckons that this building's all out of plumb. It was on a lane right down the far end at the back wall. Yeah, I think the door's out there. Is Elsie getting a photo taken? Outside the cathedral. So here we are in Winchester. Well, we think that gravestone and statue there is King Charles. It's actually Alfred. And we are driving out of Winchester.
I said, would you recognise them again? He said, yes, they were Idaho.
Very
There with me. He was a Scotsman and he was manic depressive. And he decided to commit suicide, so he broke the window of his neighbour's house, went into the kitchen, turned on the gas, and gassed himself. Scotland is a joke. We haven't come on yet. But anyway, there was a fella, an American tourist, and he went to a hotel show one night here in Dublin. And there was a piper on stage playing the pipes. He wasn't familiar with this instrument. And your man went on. And the American was listening to this sonorous...
Queue in London. Oh look, who's that? Oh yeah. So here we are heading back into London. On a rainy day. Oh, this is our new accommodation. We're at the Amelia White House, room 716, and this is the room they've given us for the night. Nice big bed, writing desk. Nice big queen size bed. Oh, and they've given us a woman as well. Must be the cleaner.
No, I don't think she is.
So we've even got a TV. Picture on the wall. Door to come in. And the old room with a cameraman in it. One of these. Bath. I'm starting to worry. I haven't seen a loo yet. It's a shower. One of these. One of these. Ah, there it goes. Hiding behind the door, look. See? And there's some things on the wall. I don't know what they are. This is walking out of the bathroom again. You can see we've got some pretty good accommodations tonight. Well, we're going for a walk to Regent's Park. And this is just the neighbourhood we're in at the moment. It's just around the corner from our hotel. So this is Regent's Park. Oh, there's squirrels everywhere. And very pretty gardens. There's that lovely woman again. There's Jenny taking some pictures.
It'll be nicer behind you.
Oh, have a look behind me then. And that was behind me. Isn't that neat? Isn't that beautiful? Saturday the 16th of September and we are at,
Home Firth.
and the people that lived at Homeforth were
Home Firth. This is the town where Last of the Summer Wine is filmed.
excellent. We're going to show you around. I'm sure the old guys will have fished in this stream here. And we're just checking out the flowers. How are they cracking? That's the time. And we're back into the cafe. Here's a couple of poses. It's the picture zone. The little graveyard. Well, we've seen the wee town and we're now heading towards York. Well, we will be when we leave this town. There's every possibility that we're in Huddersfield.
We are.
There's confirmation from the back seat. We're in Huddersfield. Well, there's a very tall tower. It's the tallest freestanding tower in Great Britain. But yeah. It's a power station in the distance. So it's a cloud making place. Yeah. Oh, we're heading back onto the M1. And that's looking into the sun somewhere. Oh, we're staying at Ivy Cottage tonight. It's a bed and breakfast. And this is what our room's like. It's got a heap of beds. There's a window. It's an ensuite. Wardrobe. Big double bed. With lights and everything. See, it's got one of those. This is the first place we've been into in England with a standalone shower. We're in York, and just to sort of show you how things are, there's a street, and this is an ancient Roman wall that used to surround the city. And the wall's got a door in it, and we're going to go in through the door and have a look. Then you can walk along the Roman walls. This is overlooking that corner that I just took a picture from before. And we might have tea in that pub tonight. Yeah. These old tombstones. And we've just walked down that street, and the churches that I'd filmed before was just down the end of it. That's the river. Daryl filming a bike. Start speaking.
Oh, we're standing outside the York Minster in York. This is the largest cathedral in Europe, medieval cathedral.
And across the road from the church, there's this Roman column. And this is a statue outside the cathedral. Here are the gargoyles. This is one big church. Somebody practicing their cornet. There it is, it's 7:30, and it's still just light enough for the camera to focus. This is just a bit of the wall left. I mean, there's heaps more of it, but this is just showing you the very old bit.
Well, John, I'll tell you what this is.
Okay.
He was mainly played at York Castle, originally built by William the Conqueror, and helped subdue the West.
Jennifer's asked me to climb up that hill, but there's this sign here, so I can't. But if I could, then I'd be going up there. That's the museum over there. It's Sunday the 17th, and this is where we stayed last night, at the Ivy Cottage, bed and breakfast. And this morning we're heading off, just have another wee look around the town in the daylight, and then we're off the way up to Edinburgh. I'm just taking the picture right now because the bells are ringing, because I know if I get there they'll stop. This is what we're filming. We're inside it, climbing up the stairs, and zillions of people have climbed up. Back end of a pigeon. Well, we're just going to go and see if we can get into the cathedral today. This is a portcullis. This is the Abbey. These are some of the bits that aren't there anymore. And that's the full extent of it. Well, we can't get into the cathedral today because there's a service on for the Battle of Britain. One big bird. And it's just hidden behind a car there. There is Newcastle.
Hi, is it Trudy?
Well, it's a bit grey day, but we're at Hadrian's Wall. We believe that over there is a bit of the wall. And this lot of rocks here is the bathhouse. We've just been up and had a look at some barracks, and if it doesn't rain too hard I'll take a picture of that as well. To get some idea, this is was a tower. Over there was that bathhouse, and there's some barracks and things along there. And moving around, there's more parts of the wall here. This is an interval tower. And here we have some curious, unnamed, unmarked things in a hole in the ground. This is the Lesser East Gate. These trees were probably some seeds that some Roman soldiers spat out on the ground, and they've grown. And this was the commandant's house. This was the main east gateway. And these over here were the barracks. And possibly stables for the soldiers as well. This area here is the central range of Chester's Fort. Chester's Fort was built after Hadrian's Wall was put up. These are quite possibly descendants of Roman cows left to roam after the Romans were Roman. But judging by the look on that one's face, he doesn't seem to be amused. Yeah, I can tell. He's not a happy cow. You're a happy cow? The team's up there waiting for me. That's looking back from where we've come. So all those Roman parts of the fort and the wall are in that country there. Yeah, this is the inside of the wee museum. I was going to say this is a typical country road. We've just driven into this, but most of the road around here is quite narrow and bordered by farms. That's what the road's like, generally speaking.
Yes.
We're on our way to Edinburgh.
Did you see that? Here I am standing on the English side of Scotland.
This is where we are. We're on the border of Scotland and England, and as you saw, there's a rock there. This rock. And the other side of the rock, there's another one over there. You can probably see. It says England. We'll follow the road down, and we'll be at Edinburgh probably in about an hour's time. Well, we're just crossing the Tweed River, and over there is the Tweed Railway Bridge by the looks of it. Somewhere over there probably is Edinburgh. We're just driving through the village of Parkhead. We're about 12 miles from Edinburgh at the moment. driving towards Edinburgh. Well, we just had tea with Dave. Dave's jarred us tea and we've been for a walk up the street, but this is what the Edinburgh Castle looks like at night time. So we thought we should... Well, here's our bed and breakfast place. We've booked in here this afternoon, and this is where we're staying for the night. We've been out today, so we didn't get a chance to film it, but this is what our room looks like. It's a bit more salubrious than yesterday. Here's our bed. And through that doorway is the toilet and bathroom, which looks a bit like the usual. One of these. One of those for sure. Out in the garden we've got a tree, and in that tree there's a feeder, and the squirrels are feeding out of the feeder. This is where we stayed last night, at Thrums. Down in that bottom corner room there is where J.M. Barrie wrote the story Peter Pan. He owned these two houses. The other half of the accommodation is that house there. The Edwardian villas. Yeah, we stayed in the room with the bay window, and Daryl and Mandy stayed in that room there. Normally there'd be squirrels around here, but just because I'm filming they've gone away. And that was where we had breakfast this morning. I come out and I've got no money. Oh, there's the castle. That's better. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. There's the castle. We'll zoom in on the little room where Fred McGirkinshaw lives.
It is now Monday morning, about the 18th of September.
10 o'clock.
And it's 10 o'clock. We are in Charlotte Square, and along here, I'm not quite certain what number now, whether it was number 5 or number 7, but over the road there is number 7 Charlotte Square, which is an open Georgian house now to look in, but one of our clan chiefs, John Lamont, lived in one of these houses. I don't think it was number 7. I think that he actually lived in number 5, which happens to be this one here.
Dave just lives around the corner, like around there, and we had dinner in the little shop that you can't see there last night. There's the castle again. Well, there's one pretty impressive fountain. It's very big, and as a backdrop you've got the castle as well. There's another view of it. They got trains in Edinburgh too. We're walking to find a bus. Ooh, there's another train. There's the train station. We're going for a trip around Edinburgh on the tours.
That is St Margaret's Chapel, begun about 1100, just 900 years ago. Built by her Queen Margaret's son, who was David I. On the north side of the square you can find the Georgian House, a lovely house to visit, a restored townhouse, an 18th century townhouse, absolutely spectacular, with the public rooms and the kitchens with the sugar loaves and all the copper pans. It's absolutely gorgeous. And in the main hall as you go in is a sedan chair, which was in use in Edinburgh till 1850. We had the old church. This is a Church of England outside England. An Episcopal was a letter written by St Paul to his outlying churches. Repulsed by a force of 30,000. He returned to Scotland and then escaped from the Isle of Skye to France, never to return. Have you heard of the Skye Blue? We have this grandstand used 2 weeks ago for the Edinburgh military tattoo, and 5 weeks ago the Queen played the piano here. And you can visit this wonderful building, a gorgeous example of an early 17th century place. It's really excellent, I do recommend it. Now ahead of the bus, I wonder if you can see on the corner right, can you see the small statue of the man there? This man is Deacon Brodie, and the pub is called Deacon Brodie's Tavern. In the late 1700s, Deacon Brodie lived here. In fact, he lived in Brodie's Close. He was a town councillor, a locksmith and a cabinet maker by trade, and he had a high lifestyle, which included 5 children, 2 women, and drinking and gambling. And to support this life, he was apprehended and hanged at the traffic lights here, the 1st of October 1788. And if you look on the pub signs, you can see him night and day. Not Princess Diana, as an American lady asked me the other week. No, she is Minerva, the Roman goddess of good fortune. And so she should be, because she sits at the top of the Bank of Scotland headquarters, established in 1695. Took a Ferrari in pawn here just last year. Now you see the 3 brass balls hanging at the corner? The Treasure Island, Katrina, Kidnapped, Talbot the Donkey, the Body Snatchers, and look at this. It's now inhabited by lawyers and accountants and other lowlife, so here on your left. This house was built for a man called Lawrence Dundas around about 1780, and while playing cards one night he lost it on the turn of a card. Over water. This one crosses over the wonderful 14 acres of polished glass of the Waverley Station. An old cow gate of the old town. That base inside and out really is gorgeous. It has a rooftop restaurant with a beautiful terrace, and the view is really stunning. 150 years ago, a gate stood here, a gate through the city wall. One of 6 gates, all closed at 10 each night. If you were in, you were in. If you were out, you were out. That was it. Graduations. This building here on your left is the most famous medical school in the world. Charles Darwin's father studied here and passed all his exams. Charles Darwin studied here and failed his 2nd year anatomy exam. Because James Barry was Jane Barry, the first woman ever to gain a medical degree by masquerading as a man. Her identity was only discovered after her death. You see a tiny little statue of a dog on top of a drinking fountain, some people looking at it now. And look into the graveyard on your left, you'll see a pink granite headstone. Do you see it? There's the little dog again, you see him? He is Greyfriars Bobby. In 1858, his master, a policeman called Jock Gray, died and was buried in the graveyard there. The little dog followed the procession in and sat on his master's grave. For 14 years he sat there, only leaving to be fed or when the weather was bad, but he always returned. There's the graveyard there on the left. The folk festival, the rock festival, all going on at once. Now here on your right we have the Wee Windows Scottish restaurant. This is where you go to sample all our wonderful Scottish delicacies. Smoked salmon, Aberdeen Angus steaks, haggis, bash neeps and champit tatties. Has anyone tried the haggis yet? In 1471, you can see a plaque on the right hand side of the door when we get closer, and it says Daniel Defoe lived here in 1707. He in fact was a spy for the English of the time. The house at behind the church, under car parking space at number 44. The last time I saw him, a Renault Laguna was parked on top of it. In front of the bus, you can see this hole in the ground. This is the new site for the Scottish Parliament building. Here in Scotland, This one was built for about a hundredth of the cost of the other one. About 1531.
Holyrood Palace.
Mary Queen of Scots stayed here in 1561, and she could wave you from that window if she was here today, because that was the royal apartments. It was begun really as a hunting lodge and travel lodge, basically for visitors to the Abbey. Right behind you, Holyrood Park, the largest urban public park in Britain. What's 6.5 miles round and over a mile square in area. Can you see the people going up the top? See them? 250 metres high, that's Arthur's Seat. Take a bottle of wine or a baguette and go up there for a picnic. It's absolutely wonderful up there. View. American lady said to me, gee, how do you get your lawn so good round here? That's just continuous Georgian terrace in Britain. So Sean Connery paid £1 million for a townhouse here last year, but was unsuccessful. Derby on its left-hand side. You see the flag flying today? This is the Scottish flag. It means the castle is open to visitors. There are no royal residents here today. Now 5 weeks ago, Charles and Camilla were staying there. And they had their own royal flag flying. A lovely sight, it was a double bed sheet. 1787, he came to have his poems published really, but while he was here on his second visit, he met a woman, surprise, surprise. In fact, she met him, she went out of her way to meet him. Now her name was Agnes McElhose. He called her Clarinda, and she called him Sylvanda, and she's actually buried in the churchyard. I wonder if you can see on beside the wall on the left, can you see the little yellow flower? She's just there. Now he wrote to her 2 of his most famous love poems. One is called My Love Is Like a Red, Red Rose. The other one is A Fond Kiss, which goes, A fond kiss and then we sever. A farewell, alas forever. Never met, nor never parted. We would ne'er been broken hearted. I'm sorry about the rendition, but you get the idea. He left her here, returned to Ayrshire to his farm, where his woman was waiting for him. She'd already had twins by him. He married her. Her name was Jean Armour. And Robert Burns died at the age of 38. Try two again, ladies and gentlemen. As it's taken us 52 minutes so far.
To the Scottish shop. Let's look at the Royal Mile to the castle. And that's down the other way, looking towards Holyrood Palace. Oh, this is Edinburgh Castle, and this is where the tattoo was held. Old Earl Haig. Here comes the two. Oh, okay. Facing down the Holy Mile, the Royal Mile.
Videoing.
Yeah.
Videoing.
And down there's Edinburgh. And way in the distance is the Firth of Forth. Just looking down towards Princes Street. That crosses that long street through the middle. This is beside the palace, beside the castle. The castle's up there amongst the trees. There's some of the rocks you would have had to climb if you wanted to get up to it. And down there. Just disappearing around the corner is the bus that we were on.
Because they kind of stood with them.
This is the Royal Yacht Britannia. And it's open for the public. And that's the visitor centre, so if you go on there and walk through, you'll get onto the Britannia. Now we're just going to cross the 1st of the 4th, or the 4th of the 5th, or the 5th of the 4th, or August or September. That must be the old bridge or the railway bridge. There's Darrell crossing the 1st, the 5th and the 4th. Now, this could be St Andrews, but possibly not, and it's just started to rain. Some debate has decided that it's probably Crossgate we're at.
I reckon we're at Cooper.
Or even Cooper. Where's Cooper? Oh, welcome to Cooper. Well, this probably isn't St Andrews either.
No, it's not.
Just gives you an idea of the surrounding countryside. We're about 5 miles away. So that could be St Andrews through there. Here we are driving into St Andrews. That's where we are. This is where we've parked. We're going up this hill to the castle, to the St Andrew's Church. Must have been a big pole went through there or something to shut the gate. Oh, this tower was. This is the bit that was haunted. Ooh. Could be your grandma.
No, she was Jane Todd.
1601.
Here's one of the rallies. There's a well. I guess that's Heather. And that's Jenny. This is the St Andrews Castle. And that's my shadow. But the castle itself is over there. It's in need of some repair. Looks like there might have been a swimming pool there. This is the entrance to get into that castle, and it costs you £2.50 if you want to. And this is the houses over the road. Rather nice looking houses. Well, we've gone for a wee walk along that road, and we've come to these baths, and there's a seal down there. You can hear him. He's going, but we can't see him. Oh, there he goes. See that? Yeah. It's in that little pool over there.
Did you jump out?
There. There he goes. See? Stuck his head up. Gone again. Never heard of a noise. So where the seal was, that was the St Andrews Aquarium. Possibly down there is the St Andrews Golf Course, the new one. And as we pan across, there's a big thing here. Don't know what that is. Can't really tell. And then there's a nice old building on the corner. And directly in front of us is the old St Andrews Golf Club. This is the stone at the bottom of that obelisk, and it's remembering the martyrs who were burned in St Andrews on this date here. There's Jennifer waiting for me. Picture of Daryl taking a picture of that guy. Now he gets himself ready, takes his stance. It's in. Clap, clap, clap. Of course, every shop in the street leading down to the golf course has some kind of golfing theme. This is the shopping area of St Andrews. That's looking down south. That's looking north. Oh, I'm filming that window behind you.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, it's got a bit of history. Well, we've had some hamburgers and at Pete's Takeaway, and we're just walking down this cobble lane back to the car. That's how old it's been, how old it is. Just going to walk out to the end of this breakwater.
Up there is the William Wallace Memorial, and that's where we're heading for.
Got something for Falcon.
No. Where's the castle?
Oh, there it is. We're at the top. 134 steps plus a huge amount of climbing. I just can't get it all in. But she's very tall. So this is the Wallace Monument. And this is the view. You have to excuse my hand there, I'm trying to cut out some of the sun. And Jenny's in the car down there. It's just a bit far for her to walk up. And there's some nice houses on the hill way over there as well. This is Stirling Castle. And there's another castle looking thing over there as well. And we're heading back down the hill, back to see. We're on our way up to Stirling Castle. Road's a little bumpy. Well, the castle's closed. It's about 7 o'clock-ish. The gates are closed. But we can still film the outside. There's a bit of the moat. That's looking back to the car from the gates. Inside the window there is probably where they kept prisoners, flogging them, pinned to the wall in their Iron Maidens. And over there is the William Wallace Memorial where we were before. And there's a graveyard down there. That's a bit of the city of Stirling. And the fellow on this stand here is Robert the Bruce. What's that hill in San Francisco? Lombard Street, there, that's right. Here we are, it's 7:15 and we're on our way to Loch Lomond on the 811. Oh, we've arrived at the Arbour Travel Lodge bed and breakfast. And this is our accommodation for the night. A couple of single beds, but that's okay. Bit of a wee view out to the roundabout. And TV, a couch, bag, doors, wardrobes, mirror, and the door to the back. We're packing up, ready to head off around Loch Lomond and down to Dunoon and to see the family's castle, and this is where we stayed last night. We had the room on the right and kids had the room on the left, and we're probably not heading there at all, but that's the sign over the road, see? That's the roundabout I stood on when I took that last picture. We stopped off to have a look at the Balloch Castle. Balloch is roughly where we stayed last night, and they own a castle. And the moon rises over the castle walls. The Earl of Lennox used to live here in 1238, but the castle fell down and they rebuilt it again in 18 something or other. 1808, using some of the same stones. There's Daryl taking a picture of the castle. Where's the other one?
Where's the other side?
Oh yeah, way out there. Somewhere.
There's a whole lot of them.
Yeah. One there.
Those trees.
One there.
And one away.
One there. Even getting closer, it was a bit shaky. This is the village of Luss. It features in the TV series Take the High Road. And Luss is on the edge of a lake. It's just a panorama of the lake. The view that the people of Luss get every morning. We're coming into the sun, so you might get a bit bright. Over there. Right, and we're on our way now for, where are we heading for now? Okay, well that's where we're going to next. Well, there's Loch Long down there, and we're heading to Dunoon. There's a little spot called Rest and Be Thankful. Well, we've left the banks of Loch Lomond, and there's Loch Long down there, and we're heading to Dunoon. There's a little spot called Rest and Be Thankful in the Argyll National Park. We just stopped to have a look. We're still at Lake Holy Loch, and this is just we stopped on the side of the road to film and get an idea of the general surrounding countryside. It's beautiful. Firth of Clyde, and we're not too far away from Dunoon now. So we've turned off on the 815 and we're going the coastal route to Dunoon. They even have tourist buses here.
3 miles.
There's a lighthouse without a light. This is the village of Kern. We're on one of the wharfs at Dunoon, and we're just going over to the information centre. This is the panorama of Dunoon. Goes all the way around there. This is the way we've come in. Further around there's a ferry. Around in that direction there's the Lamont Memorial, and we're going to walk around there and have a look. Around the back of the museum, and we come to the memorial. That was the memorial down there. Right there. We're standing at the base of the memorial for the Clan Lamont. Bit hard to read. This is a list of the names. Over there.
Oh, that looks more like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lighthouse. You can't get around the front of it. That may well be a Lambie tractor. Austin Moncton. Turning right to Tarbolton.
This must be a track through to Tarbolton, I'd say. Although it'll be
And there's a church right in front of us over there. Might be the best place to start. Welcome to Tarbolton. I'd say if we head for that church over there.
Is it a church?
Or that's the Tarbolton Cemetery. Somewhere in amongst these graves is Lambie. Or it could be through there. Or maybe even through there. Is that the one? Is there only the one? Oh, okay, because she was married to a Cowan. He was, yeah.
This would probably be my great-great-great-great-grandparents.
Right. Let's have another go.
Yeah.
The big one next door is a Smith. This is in memory of John Lambie, who died some time ago. there's the church. Well, we're on our way to somewhere else. What's our next town?
Watchline, where the Lambies live.
That's the one, Watchline, where the Lambies live. Oh, we've arrived at Embassy Suites. The lads are all here, and we're set for a day to go out and do Disneyland.
I did every video he's got was my rear.
And that's the Towered Lighthouse. We can't get around the front of it. We're on a ferry going from Dunoon to Gowrock. There's our wee car down there. That's where we've come from. Castle is around further. Their castle is around that way. Yeah. Very windy. And we'll probably, well, just down there. Just down there is where we're heading. Ferry, and we'll probably just drive along the coast. That'll be it. On the way back. It's a bit windy. Coming off the ferry, but anyway, here we are coming off the ferry and driving into Gowrock or Gowrock or Garrock. We're just driving through the nice little shops of Gowrock, heading out along the coast back towards England and the Lakes District. There's the power station. We could see that from across the other side when we were travelling down the coast. We don't know where we are, but it's quite pretty along here too. No signs saying where we are. But anyway, that's where we are. Bright, I think.
Well, kind of Craigie area. Craigie, mountain line.
And the Lambies used to farm around here. Then amongst all these bushes, there'll be a farm somewhere. May well be a Lambie tractor. Elston Moncton. Turning right right to Tarbolton.
This must be a track through to Tarbolton, I'd say. Back track. Oh yeah, I see it.
It's not a Lambie farm. It's Wes South's farm. Oh yeah. I reckon. Well, Kirkyard's a yard in a church. Yeah. Yeah. And there's a church right in front of us over there. Might be the best place to start. Welcome to Tarbolton. So if we head for that church over there.
Is it a church?
Or the clock tower.
There's got to be a church in Tarbolton
somewhere.
That looks like it's in the centre of town, which would be the original.
You can go into the cemetery.
Looks like a spooky cemetery.
That's the Tarbolton Cemetery. Somewhere amongst these graves there's a Lambie. Or it could be through there. Or maybe even through there. This is in memory of John Lambie, who died some time ago. Is that the one? Is there only the one? Oh, okay, because she was married to a Cowan. He was, yeah.
This would probably be my great-great-great-great-grandparents.
Right. Let's have another go.
Yeah.
The big one next door is a Smith. It's a bit unfortunate, he missed out on his Christmas presents. And there's the inn across the road. And there's the church. Well, we're on our way to somewhere else. What's our next town?
Watchline, where the Lambies live.
That's the one, Watchline, where the Lambies live. And a hill. At the top of the hill, there's more hill. We go down the hill again. And we just saw an ear shire, for which the Lambies are famous in judging and breeding. It's probably a tea house with cream buns and stuff. This is where the Lambies ate. See, they're queuing for petrol. Why are they queuing for petrol?
Racist. It's racist. Let flesh eat them.
That's the Burns Memorial, but they don't make cups of tea. So would the Lambies have like actually lived in houses along here somewhere?
Yeah, according to Jean's story,
Yeah.
there's a place called Hill Farm where Jean and John Lambie and Jean Drummond
Yeah.
came to Lakeside. The ones that came out here. They had lived there for several years on Hill Farm with his parents, and his parents were the ones that were in the cemetery. And John and Jean Lambie were accompanied to New Zealand by Robert and his wife Annie Taylor, and James and William. They must have been all the family. John, the eldest, was already living in Doylestown. The newcomers went to live at Lakeside. James married Elizabeth McLaughlin, and this is where Catherine comes into the family, from whom we are descended. Lakeside was his only home in New Zealand. He was born in Craigieburn and christened at Craigie, just further north. Elizabeth was born at Millport on the island of Cumbrae on the Clyde. Jean travelled there by ferry from Largs. Millport is a popular picnic spot in the summer, and that's where our ancestors left from. Drummonds were born at Kamsakeen. John Lambie's sister Margaret married Jean Drummond and brother Robert. Jean Drummond's brother Robert. Wallace relatives descended from the latter couple. A Drummond and a Wallace judged Ayrshires at different royal shows in Christchurch in the 60s. They deceased. There may be a Wallace still farming in Auchenbrae near Hawksline. Prestwick Airport, which we passed further back, bought part of some of the Drummond property. The one who was out here farmed at Bargor, Maybole. No Drummonds there now, or Maybole's further down the coast.
What's the day today? It's still the same day anyway, and we're in the Lakes District. And we're driving along beside a lake. Through there. Lake Ullswater. And it's blue. So, that was a wee bit of lake. That's Lake Ullswater. And it's a bit overcast, which makes it not quite as green.
Also 7 o'clock at night.
Yep, I said that. 1847. 12 degrees outside. And we're on track 8 on the CD. So we just stopped so we can get a nicer picture. You can see it's a bit overcast and a bit cool, but it's still quite pleasant out there. And that's the actual shape of the lake. And back to the car. Jenny won that. And she won another one that's in the boot. We've just driven through Attersdale, where there were some small cows that I missed recording.
Are they sheep?
No, they look like cows. They could be sheep.
Sheep and cows.
Yeah, there were loads of sheep.
They've got
Tails. Oh, because they've got tails.
Look at all these fences.
Yeah. They've got cow faces on them.
Yeah.
You don't have to panic, no?
I'm not panicking. No worries.
They have a China Beatrix bottle shop.
Have you? You photoed it? Oh, I mean now. Oh, I like the stone fences and the curvy roads. I think they're cute. And it's still daytime. There's a fence going up the hill there. Right up to there. And then there's one going across as well. All made out of stone. This is just some of the stone fences on the way to Lake Windermere. So that's the house there, and that's the street of bed and breakfast that we were staying in. So we're in Windermere, and that's the little shopping area. We're standing outside Darrell's Cafe, and it's exactly halfway between Land's End and John O'Groats. 134 that way, 134 that way. This is Lake Windermere. It's a bit overcast today and it's just starting to rain. Here's Jenny. And we're going to walk that way. Before, haven't you? Eh? You have. I'm on a floating jetty just like that one over there. Yeah, I was taking some pictures of the gondolas. This fella's big feet. Look at your big feet. No, ducks don't bite. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that they're cool. We're in Coronation Street country. We've driven into Manchester, or at least we're on the outskirts of Manchester, driving in. That looks like the big smoke down there. Looks like it might be quite a large city. Well, this is as close as we get. The car park, because Granada Studios is closed. No Coronation Street visits. I don't know. He was.
Yeah, but I made us remember.
They all stayed over there. We'll go that way then. Through the viaduct.
Yeah.
Do we want the M57 or the A57?
No, it's the M6. You're alright.
So where's the other area that you've got written on?
The wasted space over there?
Yeah. They're all old, looks like sale yards or something. This is Granada TV again. This is the street we came down to find the car park, I think. We're on the M6, and there's a fair bit of traffic. Petrol rationing must be really over. Here we are coming into Birmingham. We're entering Stratford-on-Avon, Shakespeare country.
That is Ronnie Size and representative. Who told you? You're doing well. It's 22 minutes past 3, and as I said, greatness on the icing of great. Oh yeah, it's Genial Joe. Isn't it?
There's enough people there, must be somebody important.
Oh, here he is. All right, Genial Joe. All right, yeah, you're right.
Well, this is an offshoot of the Avon on Stratford. There's some barges here. Ooh. That's one of the wee locks.
Move over right in there. No, change your mind. Come on, you know the way to the river.
It's for your wedding day, Mandy.
I don't know, the gardens here seem to be brighter for some reason. Sure, this is what our back garden's going to look like this year. This is Cox's yard, whatever Cox's yard is. I wonder what Cox's yard is. Oh. It's a yard. That's what a Cox's yard is. Must be shops and things. I'd say it might have been stables or something once. Well, this is round the back of Cox's yard. Well, this looks like it might be a Shakespeare's memorial. There's Falstaff. It's Prince Hal. That's young Hamlet. That's Lady Macbeth. And sitting on top of it all is Shakespeare himself. And that's looking back into Stratford. There's the back garden. Two women in there shopping. Oh, that's where Jenny bought her Shakespeare's cottage and Balloon cottage from. This is the shop. Now she's looking at these. So there's the window display that Jennifer bought the Shakespeare's cottage from. And there, right over the street, is the real cottage. Shakespeare's not sitting in his window today. That's where he was in the model. Well, we're on our way from Stratford-on-Avon and we're heading for somewhere. Where are we heading for?
Stow on the Wold.
Stow on the Wold. Morton and Marsh, the Marsh Goose Restaurant. It's been raining.
As well. That's where the A45 meets the A46. Now in Birmingham, looks like they're still dealing with an accident on Chester Road and Tyburn Road near the Merco garage. Delays there. Better news on the M6 southbound, just looking at Junction 6 at Spaghetti Junction, and that seems to be easy back quite nicely now. We had some delays there from the Aston Expressway onto the motorway. Central Trains have advised us of a couple of cancellations this evening. First of all, it's the 5:35 Stourbridge service. I was due to call it at Dorridge, and the return service from Dorridge towards Snow Hill June at 6:28.
Somebody stopped too soon.
Both services have been cancelled.
Over there's a rainbow through these trees. There was a rainbow through those trees. wonder if it probably will show up. This is Stow on the Wold. It looks like it might be fairly touristy because we've seen a few buses. Oh, there's the Old Stocks, and over there we've got the Old Stocks Hotel. I'm sure that's an old window. Put a bit of a lean on. And this is Slaughter. Upper Slaughter that way, and Lower Slaughter this way. This looks a bit more new. There's a new house going up in Slaughter.
Passengers have been telling us for a long time that they want to be able to do in the air what they can do on the ground, continuing to watch
That's nice
a
garden.
sporting event or receiving live updates on news. Paul Bushels from British Airways, one of the airlines planning to add live news and sport to the sure that they use
This is somebody's backyard. Of course, there. Don't they have allotments here? Maybe this is all their allotments.
Which magazine she thinks it'll go down well with passengers, but there could be a problem when air crashes.
These got to be people's allotments, you know? They have allotments over here.
And the pictures that we're shown, if we think of the Concorde crash, are so horrific, and some people wouldn't want to see those while they were already on the plane.
Paul Bushel, particularly when sport
What photos? Ah.
And just before we go, tonight's top story again, 28 members of Greenpeace who wrecked a field of genetically modified crops in Norfolk last year have been cleared of causing criminal damage. The campaigners have called the verdict a turning point in the fight against GM farm trials. And tonight's weather, rain in Scotland and north
Going off to bed.
I'm Ricky Smale, coming up with Trevor in 40 minutes. Madonna explains why her new album...
We're just going to another one. So this is Upper Slaughter. Unsuitable for motors. Way to Burton on the Water. Isn't that a nice view? Those are millstones built into the fence. And here we are at Burton on the Water. There's Burton on the Water's water. So here we are at Burton on the Water. It's John the barber's shop. Here's Joel filming fish. Little duck going like healthily there.
$500-year-old kiss.
500-year-old bedroom.
Wow.
Guest up 500 years old.
Could be close.
Got to do the obligatory toilet shot.
You've got to have a toilet shot.
Here's one of those.
That's right, so you can see.
Maybe it
And this is
key.
Carol and Mandy's
This
room.
bed could rock tonight. Little legs on the end of it.
So the door opens and walk in. Oh. Hello. Oh, don't mind us, we're just passing through. Yep, they've got one of these. One of these. Hey, you guys got a good shower.
Yeah, they got a nice bathroom in here.
Yeah. And this is what the place used to look like at the turn of the century.
Which century was that the turn?
So it's been around for a while. There's something covering that thing, and oh, yeah, the thing in the middle's got covered up since then.
Yeah. That's pretty old.
The TV's fairly old. And then,
Antique.
if you look out the window,
Medieval stuff.
if you look out the window, if you can see through my reflection, that's the view out the window.
Yeah, something
That's the stairs down.
medieval.
Here we are in a 500-year-old pub. We've just had tea, having a quiet drink. There's the bar over there, and some of the locals. No, that's fine. I just wanted a picture of you in there. Yeah.
Made for little people.
Where's our house?
Over there with the bedroom lights and thing. That's us.
Okay, that's our house over there. Can't focus. So there's our place at night. Well, that's what day?
Thursday the 21st.
And here's the view out our window this morning. That's the pub last night where we had some dinner. That's the view out the right hand side of the window. And here's the village of Castle Combe in the quiet of the morning. It's about 9:30 and we've had breakfast, we've loaded up our car and we're about ready to head off. We're just going to have a wee look around the village first. There's the village stream. There's the other side of the bridge. You could just imagine a fly fisherman down there somewhere, way past the trees. There's Daryl doing some filming. Lovely old house. And that's where we stayed last night. And that's an ancient monument of some kind. And that's an ancient church. And out behind me is an ancient truck. Not that ancient. You can probably hear in the distance the sounds of car racing. Because there is a car racing track very close to here. Disturbs the sleep of these poor people. He just took a picture of the back of the house we stayed. It's got to be old. Can't find any date on it though. But I would say that most of these are in the early 1800s. There's one date that I can read. It's 1878. A fairly decent looking tombstone. And that's got a date of 1810 on it. That's the Manor House Hotel. Starting to get a bit busier now. Bit of postcard buying. And this is the roadway out of Castle Combe. It was also the roadway in. We're heading towards Basingstoke. We're about 5 miles away. And we're heading towards the town centre. And that was Basingstoke, or Basingstoke. There's a bug up there. Won't focus because of the window. And we're on the M4 heading to London. London's about 40 miles away. And that's the time. We're on the M25 now. And then it was on the M4 and back into London. Oh man, you live just over there. No. Well, we've done very good time. Daryl was a great driver. Here's the clock from the other side. Is this where we catch the train?
No, it's a bit further up.
It's the wrong place. But this is Ealing.
I think this is Brentford.
Oh, okay. It all looks the same to me. As Jennifer said, this is where we used to walk to catch the train. Down there, with all those black people. There's the walk. Where do we wash our clothes? Exciting. Viewing, really.
maple with that. More of it somewhere along here.
It's got soap still in there from us. We'll go down there. And back to the Beaconsfield road sign. Still going the wrong way. And here we are at home. Click.
1,294
miles. There's the old girl getting out of the car.
Old girl. That's enough of that.
This is the lounge. Full of luggage. This is the kitchen. Come back to that. This is the dining room. With some hideous things on the wall. Not mine. Backyard, bicycle, table, spare mattress, thing over there. Back to the kitchen. Here's a fridge. Here's a fridge. Microwave, girlfriend.